welcome back to On the Workbench. Today we got another unboxing here of another lathe accessory to go with my lathe. If you've been following along, you know I got a lathe a while back, and the process of building a lathe stand, and one of the things that I needed to be able to get some more details together was to be able to finally get a chuck. And so I went out today and I got a chuck. I found this on sale at a local woodcraft dealer. And so what I got here, this is a Nova G3 chuck. Now with this does not come with a threaded insert. My lathe requires a 1x8 threaded insert, and so there's also a separate threaded insert that I had to buy to go with this to be able to complete the chuck package. So let's take a look in here and unbox the Nova G3 chuck. So this comes sealed. And so after removing the seal and we open the box here, inside, first thing we've got our manuals that go through. And so one of the things I liked about this chuck that I was saving up is I wanted a chuck that actually had a regular chuck key. I didn't want the ones with the two handles that go back and forth. If you got to have two hands on those and one hand on your workpiece, by my count that requires 3 hands to do it. And well, I was only born with 2 hands, and so I thought this would be the better option, and just to wait a little bit longer to get something that I thought I'd like better. So we got their instruction manual. We've got our chuck key. This comes nicely packaged in a Ziploc bag. I can, when I open the box here, I can smell the packing grease. And then next thing in the box here is the chuck itself. And you can see there's the grease on that. And so if we, let's see if I can get a good, I'll take out of the package here in just a second here. Let me set that aside and see what else is down here. So we pull out the insert. Then we've got a couple Allen wrenches. We've got an interior insert. We've got a couple extra caps. And then we've got a set of jaws. For the chuck, this comes with a dovetail style jaw set. And so then with this set of jaws and the screws in the other bag, we should be able to attach this to the chuck, as well as having our extra insert here. But that insert there won't actually connect it to the lathe. That's why we need this extra little bit here. And so this is, you have to make sure you get the right one and with the right code to match the specific spindle size on your lathe for your headstock. That's going to vary specifically by your manufacturer and model number, so you have to make sure you're aware of that. And so we take this out here. This has internal threads here. The internal threads is what's going to thread around the drive shaft of the lathe, of the headstock on the lathe. Then we got some external threads here, and these external threads are going to then be seated inside the lathe chuck. Work this around. I need to give this a good wipe down with a paper towel and a degreasing agent. I'll keep some of it on. You can see on the back side of the chuck there's the teeth that will be used to be able to expand or contract the jaws. There's a retaining ring in there that holds it all together. And then there's also a set screw on either side, which is why there's holes here. So there's a set screw hole located right here. Okay, now for the process of assembling the chuck, I've got a paper towel out here, just to be able to set this down so I don't damage this. So I'm going to take the chuck out. Obviously see all the packing grease in here. That's a sign of a well-packaged product. We don't want any rust forming, and the grease is going to, and that packing grease is going to help us ensure that we've got a nice rust-free precision ground chuck. However, it will be a little slippery in your hands. That's certainly okay. Now let's go ahead and take the chuck key out of the bag. Just wipe this down as well. So for my lathe stand, I'm interested in a couple things, just some sizes here so I can be able to store the tools. And just before we put anything in, I'll demonstrate the use of this. This goes in, and then as I turn this, you can see how the jaws would be moving. Obviously they're moving in right now. or I can go the other way and expand. The jaw size, it feels a little stiff here right now, but that's okay because we want it to lock down and hold in, so that's fine. That looks good. And then when I was looking through the manual, the screw here in the middle is described as a woodworm screw, that you can thread this into a bowl blank to begin cutting a bowl with the chuck, and then this would then tighten right inside the jaws. And so we'll set that aside as another accessory. And then we've got our screws that we'll use for attaching our jaws. We've got a couple Allen wrenches here to help complete the task. Still some more packing grease. I need to wipe down the wrench. And we set aside, we've got our screws for the insert. Okay. And I'm not sure what those red pieces are. I think those are just going to be junk. And then now we got our jaws. And then now for the jaws. As that comes out, the jaws, incidentally, for some interesting reason, are all on this zip tie. So I need to get a pair of scissors here and cut the zip tie. Okay, now with the scissors, cut the zip tie, and we've got our 4 chuck jaws. And we'll set those down. And then each of these is going to get placed onto the jaw. This has a nice groove here on the back of the jaw. There's a ridge here. It's going to line up with the ridge right here in the middle to give a nice positive connection. And then we've got a hex screw to go on either side. These are recessed down and the wrench comes with it. Okay, now that we got all the jaws on, everything is connected. The last piece here is going to be to take our insert and as we remove this out of the packaging, we still have more packing grease. I'll give this another little quick wipe down. And so now as I flip the chuck over, make sure I get this started properly, and then this should thread. Just double check and see. Let's see, is there a set screw sticking out? I don't think so. There we go. And now this insert just threads right in. And then when I'm happy with that, on the back side here, I've got one more set screw that remains, and that set screw will then lock in place. Go ahead and just stick with the regular set screw style, and that'll just go right in here. And we'll use the smaller of the 2 wrenches. These are all metric size screws, by the way. The screws for the chuck jaws are described as being an M6x6 screw. The set screw here is a little bit smaller, and there's another set screw on the side. And the Allen wrenches that are provided is a 3mm and a 4mm Allen wrench size. And so if you look in here, there's this Allen wrench here. We can use a set screw here to be able to secure this actually onto our lathe so it doesn't spin off. So we got just a couple little things here to make sure that we're working safe, and combine that with our chuck key here for moving our jaws, and now we can see with the jaws open, or we can close our jaws. And one of the other things here that's important, if you look at this, you can see it still maintains the hollow shaft here, so we could still run a knockout punch through here if we needed something to be knocked out of our lathe, or if you were wanting to try some sort of a vacuum type chuck connection. I'm not sure if actually a vacuum chuck would work with it. Each of these chuck jaws are numbered 1 through 4. There's jaw number 1, jaw number 4, and 2 and 3 are on the other side. Now as I collapse this down, I'm going to take this, and you can see where this would then be able to sit in here between the chuck jaws to be able to line up. You tighten this up just a little bit further so this too tight. And so now this woodworm screw can then just get locked into the jaws like that. So if this is threaded into a bowl blank, you can easily use this to be able to get started turning a bowl. And then when you're ready to move on, advance and remove the screw. Again, just simply open up your chuck jaws with the key, and then give that another turn. And then that'll just come right out, except for it won't go right through to come out with your workpiece on the other way. To be able to be ejected if you had any trouble, again, you could use a knockout rod to pop this out if you had to. And the jaws in this are described as having a 50mm size, which should be approximately the right size for just about most small projects I'm interested in, small bowls, spindles of the like. So this is just the setup now. So I hope you found this video of the Nova G3 chuck useful. If you like this video, please click the like button or click the subscribe. It helps support these videos. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye. So I look forward to using this as I begin the process of learning how to turn some wood. So this is the Nova G3 chuck. I hope you found this useful and have a great day. Bye.